So I did some thinking recently, and I was having a conversation with somebody about parasocial relationships on the internet, content creators, and kind of our issue with them. I had an incident happen a couple days ago, one that's happened before that really kind of put this back into perspective again. And so I did a 16 tweet thread on Twitter discussing these thoughts, and somebody recommended I make a video out of it, so I figure why not. So this is kind of a speakdom, if you want to call it that, but really it's more so me trying to get this out there for people to understand my perspective and to understand me better as a person. And I speak for a lot of content creators, not just me. I speak for almost every single one because I've had conversations with many of them about this very thing. So I'm going to go into more detail about what I've said. Now, before I get into this, I want to say that I'm very grateful to be where I'm at. I'm very grateful that I have an audience on Geekdom 101, the main channel. I'm very grateful to have done what I've done. I've worked hard for it. I'm grateful that people trust me and they've changed my life for the better. So this is not one of those things where it's not like I don't appreciate people. But the problem, like I appreciate my audience, obviously, but the problem is when parasocial relationships go too far. And it happens to literally everyone who gets an audience. I've seen it happen. You might not see it, but it happens to literally everyone. From Matt Pat to the angry video game nerd, they deal with their audience creating this sort of image of who they are without really knowing them. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing? In some ways it's good, in other ways it's bad. But I want to bring light to it and shed some light to it to maybe have some conversation so you can kind of think about it a little bit. So I open up the tweet thread here by saying, please read. Being a creator can sometimes be very frustrating, dealing with parasocial relationships, and yesterday was another example. I'm going to go into that here in the video. People think they know you based on videos and streams and feel like they connect with you. That can be nice on some level, but turn bad. So obviously when you watch a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer that you like, for whatever reason you connect with them. You think they're funny, or you think they're entertaining, or you want to learn from them. Some of you may even look up to them. All of that is understandable, but you have to be really careful with that because content creators only show you bits and pieces of who they are. And I can guarantee you that about now, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm going to say it. 95% of you really don't know me. Like, you know the content, you know some of the things I've said, and I am a lot more open on this channel, but you don't interact with me day to day. Same thing goes with guys like Matt Pat, anyone, Markiplier, PewDiePie. Even if they stream every single day, those 3 or 4 hours or less that they're on the internet is just a small bite-sized version of who they really are. I'm going to keep going here and explain more about this. So I go on to say people on the internet literally know nothing about us except what we show you and tell you. They don't, but they somehow think they do because they project their idea of who we are onto us, whether it be good or bad. So I've seen a lot of people online say a lot of good things about content creators. Oh, he seems like a nice guy, he's a chill dude, whatever. I've also seen people say bad things, creating drama videos, shitting on other people. Oh my God, this guy's an asshole, this guy has an ego, whatever. And the reality is, the people who do that, whether it be complimenting or attacking, don't know the person. You really don't know. Like, there are people that I know on YouTube that I've been friends with, that I've even done collaborations with, that I'm never going to work with again because they showed me a side of who they are that I did not like, the real person after getting to know them. And I've chosen in my life to create a boundary and push them away because I don't want to be that person. Ultimately, when I look at myself, when I reflect on me as a person, Danny, with my friends, family, and my therapist, I know that I'm a good person, but I'm flawed. And I feel like the majority of you guys are like that too, that you're good people, but you're flawed. It's the same thing with content creators. And I feel like people on the internet are way too judgmental because they're sort of projecting and hiding who they really are. And so oftentimes I'll see a comment saying, man, that guy's an asshole. Not really always about me, but what a prick he is, blah, blah, blah. When it's like, you really don't know. And number one, are you saying you've never been a prick in your life? Are you saying you've never been an asshole to somebody? I guarantee you that at some point in your life, you've been a dick to someone. Nobody is Jesus Christ except Jesus Christ. You understand what I'm saying? We all fuck up. Every one of us. But on the internet, everything's recorded, people remember, and oftentimes what I feel people do is a lot of them have very vacuous lives. So instead of like trying to, and this has been a problem even before the internet, by the way, instead of trying to improve their own life, they oftentimes just sit there and judge others. Like, for example, if you're watching television and you see a guy get arrested for robbing a liquor store, let's just say, right? That's a criminal. You have a right to say he's a criminal. However, you really don't know what that person's going through. For all intents and purposes, he may have just had a family member die. He may have been fired from a job unfairly. I am not trying to justify crime here because there's no justification, but usually it's a little bit deeper than they're just a bad person. However, there are legitimately bad people out there, narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths. And unfortunately, in the YouTube and Twitch space, I've met many of them. And I've made the mistake of giving some of them platforms when I should not have. And that's something that's not happening ever again. So I keep writing this and I say, yesterday that kid, I had an issue yesterday I'm going to go into, but I wrote yesterday that kid brought up that I changed, bringing up the fact that he met me in person. The only conversations ever have been 2 minutes in an elevator and some surface level DMs. That's it. Somehow this made him think that I changed or something when he knows nothing about me. So I had to block this kid yesterday because he left a comment on a video that was made about me. Some nobody made a video about me saying that I'm arrogant and emotionally immature, which is really fucking funny considering that if you read what that guy says, bro, immature is scraping the surface of the shit that this dude says. I'm not going to even bring attention to it, but basically he goes and agrees with that guy and says, I've changed. Now, the reason why I blocked him is because the kid who said that I changed is somebody who I've talked to in the DMs, who I met in person and had 2 minutes of conversation. 2 minutes. We're not friends. You understand what I'm saying? If we talk in DMs once in a while and you tell me you're having a rough life or a rough time and I give you some positive vibes, which I'm always willing to do to people, I'm always willing to back them up, it doesn't mean that we're friends. But because of this sort of YouTuber audience parasocial relationship, in his mind, oh, I met that guy, he talks to me in the DMs, we're friends. But I've never shared anything personal about me with this guy. He knows nothing about me, literally nothing. If you don't have my phone number, well, one of my phone numbers, and if you don't have like a day-to-day interaction with me, you just don't know anything about me. And that's just the way it is. That goes for all content creators. But this dude in particular saying that I changed and became arrogant, that was an instant block. Now, am I blocking him because I have thin skin? No, I'm blocking him because after 9 years of dealing with these types of people, dude, I'm done. I'm done with it. You understand what I'm saying? I have a rule on all my channels now that if you're rude or a dick, it's an automatic ban. Because 9 years of seeing people constantly talking shit, non-stop verbal diarrhea, you kind of get sick of it. You understand what I'm saying? And now I have a zero tolerance rule about that. Now I'm going to keep going because there is a difference between that and constructive criticism. So this is what I said. The only people who know whether or not I've changed is my friends, my family, and my therapist. That's it. Even if we have a few convos or DMs, it doesn't mean you're in my circle. Same goes for all internet people. This is an unarguable fact. Same goes for all of you. You know, I can have conversations with you guys in the comment section. It doesn't mean I know you. I have no idea what you do in your daily life. I don't know if you're a good person. I don't know if you go to church or if you donate money or help the poor. I don't know if you steal from people or I don't know. We don't know what people we don't know the reality of people. But the problem is when you pretend like you do, that's where an issue comes up. I'm gonna get back to it here. Ultimately, that's why I blocked him, and he had a complete mental breakdown after claiming he wants to promo battle me or some stupid childish shit like that. He did say that, bro. It's childish as fuck. And I don't want people like that in my life, dude. I'm 39. I don't have time for children in my life, bro. Oh, I'm gonna see you in person. No, you're not. You're not gonna see me in person, bro. Every single time that I've had somebody threaten me, they never go through with it. It's happened a lot. I've never even had a scratch put on me by somebody on the internet. Not once. So whenever somebody acts hard, I just laugh because I know they're not going to do anything. Especially that kid. So I go on to say I do not want people like that around me. I do not block over Dragon Ball opinions. I don't. I block because I don't have the energy to fight with you. I just don't want to. I just don't have time to waste. I have a lot of things that I do in my life. I'm always busy. I'm always working on things. I have multiple businesses. I just don't have time. And the same goes for a lot of content creators, yo. People take these things personally when it's like, no, that's our lives, our real lives. So I write, legitimately, Danny the real guy runs multiple businesses and interacts with multiple people and no longer has time for time in his life for assholes or weirdos in his circle. I allowed too many to come close in the past and it hurt me. I learned. I've seen people spread more lies about me in the last 9 years than in previous 30 years of my life before YouTube. They literally make shit up, take it out of context, purposely to try to make themselves relevant, hurting someone else versus actually working hard to get there. Which is true. I have had people in particular obsess over me so much that they make content about me, hours and hours and hours of content about me for years. I know one guy in particular who's made content about me since 2017 nonstop. That is a mental illness. That is extreme psychopathy. Like you're actually a psychopath. All kinds of content, laughing whenever something bad happens to me, creating quotes that I never said, taking things I did say out of context, whatever he can do to slander me and hurt my career. And it's so strange. It's so weird to me that somebody has that kind of time on their hands. And it's also very sad and very weak. You understand what I'm saying? This is objective. One thing I've learned in life is that whenever somebody attacks you on the internet, the first thing you have to do is think for a minute and say, would I trade places with this person? If I could, would I swap my lives with that person? And the answer for me is no every single time. Because I could never be so miserable and hate my life so much that I have to devote that much time to attacking somebody else who I don't know. It's really weird, man. Like, it's fucking strange. Like, these people, I genuinely wonder, and I know this has become a meme on the internet, but I genuinely wonder, like, if guys like that actually have real social lives. They pretend like they do, but I know better. It used to bother me a lot, but that's part of the game. Ultimately, the internet's a place where people can make believe who they are and commit evil acts without repercussions to feel better about themselves and feel like they matter. In reality, nobody really matters in this space as much as they think they do, including me. I'm grouping myself into that. You can have your opinions on certain things, you know, like if you like a certain movie or whatever, but unless it's a giant opinion that everybody agrees with that actually makes a change, it's not going to matter too much. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. It doesn't matter. Like one person by himself can't change the world. It has to be one person with a group and a powerful enough group to make a difference. There have been several historical figures who have done this. Maybe one of you guys will do it, but it's not gonna, but typing on the internet, I hate this movie or I hate this YouTuber will change nothing. You are changing nothing. All you're doing is making somebody else feel bad if they even choose to allow themselves to feel bad. I used to, I don't anymore. And then I wrote, but they do matter to their friends and loved ones, and ultimately they are the ones whose opinion means anything. Throughout the years, I've had people accuse me of having ego or not taking criticism well because I choose not to listen to them, which is actual arrogance. And why would I listen to somebody on the internet that I don't know? That's parasocial bullshit. Like, if someone's gonna give me advice on investing, for example, let's say investing, and they're fucking broke. This happened about 3 weeks ago. A person tried to tell me that they buy anime to invest in their collection, and they're like, isn't this an investment? This same person 2 months ago asked me to let them borrow money. They are very bad with money. They're having problems paying their bills, but they use their money to buy anime, and you're telling me that I don't know about investing? I am actually an investor. I have real estate, I have stocks, bonds, I have all kinds of shit. Like so like the point is it's like LeBron James. If people say LeBron James can't dunk on the internet, why would he listen to some kid on the internet? Why would he sit there and take that person's opinion to heart? This used to bother me a lot. Now it's just kind of silly. So if somebody gives me criticism on something I've said and I don't know them, I can choose not to listen. Now, if it's somebody who I respect, somebody who's in the same space as me, somebody who has credibility, then I'll listen. Same thing goes for all of you. If somebody who I trust and care about tells me, hey, that video was bad, work on it, improve it, that's different. I can listen to that and say, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right about that. Maybe I should work harder on that. But if it's just some dude with a screen name who I've never talked to, why take their opinion seriously? And people who think that their opinion matters to somebody they don't know, that's real ego. That is real ego. It shouldn't matter. We're all the same in the sense that we all go through pain, we all go through struggles, we all deal with death, we deal with loss. All of us do. In different ways. And the only ones that really know the truth are our loved ones and ones that are close to us. Constructive criticism is always welcome, but some rando account claiming they know me because we talked in DMs twice and said hi to each other once in person is a joke. I only have deep conversations with a very small number of people. Making an assumption about someone you do not know based on limited interaction is guaranteed to be mostly projection and likely bullshit. That goes for a lot of people, even the good ones, right? Let's take a YouTuber that you like, one that people just love, very popular guy. I'm not going to name no names because people are going to sit there and think I'm pointing the finger at them. But let's say there's a really popular YouTuber. Everyone likes him. But what if you find out that this dude is talking to like underage girls, which has happened, by the way, a lot in like the gaming community. All of a sudden, then everything changes. And then it becomes, damn, I thought I knew him. I thought I knew that guy. No, you don't. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't know. You think you know because you see them on the internet, but you don't know what they're really doing. You have no idea if I donate to charity or if I hurt people in the real world. Nobody knows. It's impossible unless they actually know you. Making an assumption about someone you don't know based off limited interaction, mostly projection, likely bullshit. You don't know if we are good or bad people unless you see us outside of the internet, and 95% of people don't. I've met people in the past 9 years who come off like good people and are well liked because of how they carry themselves online while knowing that they're actually terrible people. I let some of them in and learn their true nature. That's the only way. I'm not going to name no names, but there's a lot of YouTubers who I've had fallings out with, and I've done a lot of self-reflection. In a couple cases, yes, it was my fault, but mostly it wasn't. It's because I chose to have them not be in my life because I learned something. They either fucked me over or they did something that crossed the line, and it is what it is. And I say that here. I know that's the only way. The reality is that we're not viewed as real people. None of us on here are. I'm Geekdom 101 to most and nothing more, and I'm okay with that. Other than when I get slandered and lied on. The human Danny never matches up to the Geekdom 101 that people create in their own minds. That goes for a lot of people online, dude. I oftentimes see people online saying, damn, I thought I knew that guy. Damn, man, he changed. No, he never. Maybe he didn't change. Maybe he just didn't show you a side of his personality because you don't really know him. And the unfortunate truth is, in the real world, y'all, this happens not just on the internet, but in the real world. Sometimes I've seen couples that have dated for a while, got married, and then got divorced because they learned something during the marriage that they didn't know before they got married, and it ruined everything. That happens a lot. You know, so, and it's scary because we're living this life, and this is serious. Like, you might have a friend, you might have a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, that you love, and there's something they're hiding, or there's a part of their personality you don't really know, and then when you see it, you're like, damn, like, I didn't know you could even do a thing like that. Maybe they did change, or maybe they were always like that. It's a case-by-case scenario. I've wasted too much time defending myself against weak internet people who would rather bring down a stranger they don't know for validation than build themselves up the hard way, the right way. They know literally nothing about me, so they make it up, which says more about them. I can't blame Matt, Pat, and others for retiring from YouTube, and my day will come eventually. I could retire now if I wanted to because I've got enough money to, but I still enjoy YouTube, and I still enjoy making videos, and I still probably want a little bit more before I actually hang it up. So I'll be here for a little while longer. And when I say a little while, I mean like a years. Like, I'm not planning on leaving here anytime in the next couple of years. Maybe more than that. But when I leave, it'll be on my own terms. And that'll be, and ultimately, even if I leave, I think World of Geekdom, this channel, will stay up. And I'm not shutting down my channels eventually when the time comes, but I think I'll shift over to doing other content, and I'll still do stuff on World of Geekdom. But eventually, Geekdom 101 will probably end up being not my main focus down the road. That's, of course, down the road. I'm being honest with you about that because most content creators would never tell you that. There is an end goal in sight, and eventually we all have to retire. We can't just keep making videos till we're 80. You know what I mean? Eventually we have to just say, okay, my time is up. Do I really want to be 60 years old covering anime? I think by the time I get older, I want to have more mature topics and different types of videos. Like this one right here. This is what I really am into now. More of this type of stuff. So I said I can't blame Matt, Pat, and others for retiring from YouTube and say my day will come eventually. You have to be mentally strong to this for a long time. In reality, it's a launching point for greater things down the line if you're willing to work hard for it. So, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. You know, I'm a very real person. Can I be a real asshole? Sure. But I'd rather somebody be a real asshole than be a fake friend. You understand what I'm saying? I'd rather see the real side of someone early than find out later. And I would assume that most of you would agree with that. Which is why a lot of the people that, you know, I've cut off, does it hurt? Yes, it hurts. But the more time passes, the more I realize that I'm genuinely better off without them. So look at the people in your life, and if they're maladaptive, if they're negative and bringing you down, I'm not saying to bail on them because maybe they need your help, but try to create a boundary so that it doesn't end up messing your stuff up. Anyways, that's it. Have a good day. We'll talk soon.